Hi Flosstube, I'm Kayla, the Hufflepuff Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. I'm joined today by Zelda, who's currently laying on the floor, moping dramatically, not sure why. And Luna is in the bedroom sleeping, so guess if she comes out, then you'll get to see her too. This week, what I've got for you are an update on my whips. I've got my upcoming plans. I've got a whole bunch of FFOs. At least for me, it seems like a whole bunch of FFOs. I've got an update on Flosstube Stanley, and then we've got our giveaway winner. So let's just jump right into it. This past week in the School of Magical Stitches and Literature, our task had to do with SPEW, which is the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare, which is founded by Hermione. It's all about house elf rights. So for this assignment, what we had to do was stitch 200 stitches for each of the letters. So S, P, E, W. And then in the Stitchy Quest to Destroy the One Ring group, we had a color stitching challenge where each of the dwarves have a different colored cloak. So we had to do 100 stitches in that color. So I tried to combine the two as best as I could to double dip between the groups because work smarter, not harder. So for the letter S and the letter P in SPEW, I got to work on the same project, and that was Pretty Little Hawaii by Satsuma Street. Got the S, got the P. So for this one, I did the 200 stitches in each of the colors, and then I had it divided up by the different dwarfs. So here is where I was last time, and here is, well, if I can get it, how far I got. So what I did was 100 stitches in the darker blue color for Feely. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names correctly or not. I'm going by the book. I've seen the movies like once for Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, etc. So don't kill me if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. But so 100 stitches in blue for Feely. I did 100 stitches in the lighter shade of blue, right across here, for Thorin. I did 100 stitches in white for Gloin, which is really not showing up too well, but it's right down here, and then some little spots going across where umbrellas will eventually be. And then 100 stitches in the light green color for Bomber. Hope I said that correctly. And that is how far I got on that project this week. The next one that I did was for the letters E and W. And for that one, I did my Welcome to Pumpkinville sale because that has the W. For the letter E, I did not have a project that started with the letter E. And I'm not going to start something that I don't have just to fit an assignment. That's silly. So my plan was to do the 300 stitches of penalty stitches for that letter. It was pointed out to me, however, by, I hope I say this right, Beck Diggity, on my latest video, that the 300 penalty stitches is for the entire assignment as a whole, not an individual letter. I did it anyways. I'm giving it a shot because worst case scenario, I don't get points for that letter anyways. Oh well, I got those stitches in anyways. So I did 200 stitches for W, which will for sure count. And then I tried 300 for E, which I'm like 95% sure will not count as actual points, but I still got 300 stitches in my assignment. Plus it still counted as the Stitchy Quest colors. Still works, win-win. So I will insert a picture here of where I was last time. And this is how far I got. So I'm working right here in the May block, and sure enough, I did not get it finished before the month of May was done, but that's okay. I did 100 stitches in red for Balin. I did 100 stitches in blue for Keely, and this is like it's almost coming across as purple on camera, but it's like a denim blue color in the building. Then I did 100 stitches each for Dory and Nori, right up here with those flowers. And then 100 stitches in yellow for Biffer. I hope I said that properly as well. Now, this week, I'm not even going to go there yet. I'm instead going to go with, there were pop-up assignments that showed up in both groups actually, which was really fun. So the first one that I saw pop up was a side quest in the Stitchy Quest group. And for this one, what you had to do was stitch on a project that had some type of food or drink in it, because when all the dwarves come and invade Bilbo's house, they eat all of his food. So what I chose to do for this one worked out perfectly with my Stitchmania, Monogamania plans. I worked on my giant Harry Potter. And the way that this one worked is it wasn't like a specific number of stitches you had to do. What you actually got to do was roll a dice. And then whatever number you got on that dice, you multiplied it by 100, and that's how many stitches you had to do for your side quest. So I lucked out. I rolled a 2. So I only had to do 200 stitches. So here's where I was last time on my giant Harry Potter. And this is how far I got. So for this assignment, this side quest, I guess, I worked on the blue squiggly bit over here and got in my 200. While I was working on that, in the Magical Stitches group, I saw that there was a pop-up event for Rita Skeeter poking around, sticking your nose where it shouldn't be. So we had to work as a house to do 15,000 stitches total. So any contribution you could make was fantastic. So I chose to kind of double dip since I was working on it anyways. I did my 200 stitches in this blue, and then I finished off the squiggle, which ended up with, I don't even remember how many. I'm guessing upper 200s or so, and I called that my contribution for this particular pop-up event in Magical Stitches in literature. I kept going though. I wanted to get an extra credit assignment done, which is why I didn't do more for the pop-up assignment. I saw that Hufflepuff had already reached the goal, so there's no point in adding more to that once we've hit what we need to hit. Might as well get those points in an extra credit. So I added more. On this side, I went up, and then I did the little Dementor here, and some more of the Basilisk as well, and got in 500 stitches of extra credit for the monthly task of stitching on something on a project that starts with one of the letters in the word goblet. And this happens to be Giant Harry Potter, which starts with a G. I have made a change in this as well. So I was so fed up with working with that darn metallic DMC that I ended up changing it out for, let me get it out here. I'm choosing to do some treasure braid instead. So much easier to work with. And when you compare the colors, this is a little more orange than the DMC gold, which is more of a yellowy hue, but none of the stuff that I already had done in the metallic DMC is close enough to where the rainbow gallery is for you to really even notice the difference. All you see is sparkly gold color. No one's looking that closely. And if you are looking that closely, step back from my cross stitching. 3-foot rule. So you really can't tell the difference. And it is so much easier to work with. I'm extremely happy that I made that switch. Since Mania is now finished, the end of May has come and gone, I will no longer be doing a Monogamania. I'll be back to stitching on really whatever I want when my homework is finished. So that does not mean I'll be done working on this entirely, obviously. Still love this piece. It's just that I'm not going to feel like this is the only thing I can work on once homework is done. So this week, I dropped something. This week I'm using as kind of a catch-up week. Where I put it over here. One of those days, guys. It was a busy weekend. I'm tired. What I'm working on this week is in the School of Magical Stitches and Literature. Our task has to do with the first task of the Triwizard Tournament, which is fighting the dragon. You have to get past the dragon to collect the golden egg. Now for this one, we do have to do 1,000 stitches. That sounds like a lot, but if you break down everything that's been done each week, it usually evens out to about 1,000 stitches a week. It's just that this one will be all done in one project rather than being split up into like little mini tasks that add up to 1,000. This is my perfect opportunity here to work on my Welcome to Pumpkinville Sal and try and get caught up. So my ultimate goal is finish this block. I don't think 1,000 stitches will get me to the June block at all yet, which is going to be a carnival. But that's okay because this week is kind of creative with how you make your project fit. And what I'm going to say is that the way I'm going to get past the dragon is by taking advantage of his allergies. All this pollen created by the plants will give him watery eyes and he won't be able to see me. I like it. I'm going with it. And that's part of what I love about the creative events is you can make anything you want work. Like I think I saw someone was going to do an owl or something, and they were going to say that they were going to charm the owl to sing a song to put the dragon to sleep. Seriously, anything will work, and it's wonderful. In the Stitchy quest group, they have not yet released what the next quest item will be. We are still working until Monday night tonight to finish up that little side quest with the stitching on a project with food and drink and however many stitches you got based on your dice roll. Now this past week, I did some procrastinating. I can't be the only one here. I needed to clean my craft room, so I went up to my craft room to clean. And got distracted by everything in there and decided I needed to FFO a bunch of stuff. So I did. I didn't particularly want to clean, I wanted to play. It got clean eventually, but I FFO'd first. So this is what I got. I'll start with this one here. This one was my Waves Galore piece by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I gave an attempt at doing a Priscilla type finish. So I got this little sign. It used to be like a hot pink. It said like totes adorbs or something teenagery. I don't know. I painted over it black to fit more of the decor. We've got like every room has black and then some accent color because black is very easy to match. And what I did is I just put a washer on the back, got my magnet right there so that I can swap out the different seasonal sayings. I am planning on doing a bunch of them. I also did the same thing with the top, which I think I still want to put a button or something in the front just to cover up where that is. But for the bow, got a magnet on the top. I've got my little washer on the bottom there. Clicks right on into place. I'm pretty proud of that. I like how that turned out. Still need to make some tweaks, but overall not too shabby. So I got that done. This is ready to display for the month of June. I also got this one in a frame. This is Solemnly Swear by Fiddlesticksau, and I actually did this on some of the scrap fabric left over from my giant Harry Potter. So this was a hand-dyed fabric by Stephanie. I believe it was parchment. I'm not entirely positive of that name though. Unfortunately, Fiddlesticksau did have to take this pattern down. A big company was coming after them. I believe it was probably Warner Bros. Not entirely positive, but whoever owns the right to Harry Potter was going after them, saying that it's an infringement on their copyright and calling it fan art wasn't good enough. So they did have to take this pattern down. However, Fiddlesticksau has given permission. She released this pattern for free for 24 hours, each of the houses, so all of the different variations of this, for free for 24 hours before she was forced to take it down. I was able to snag it, as were a bunch of other people. She has given permission for those of us who snagged it to give it out. She did not want to take it down. She thinks anyone who wants to stitch it should be able to stitch it. But because of legally stuff, she herself was not allowed to sell it anymore. So if you would like this pattern at all, I've got them all in a PDF. I grabbed that free one with all the house variations on it when it was offered for free. I'm more than happy to send that to anyone who would like to stitch it as well. The frame is just a little 25-cent frame I found at a garage sale, and it's plastic. Got a little thing on the back so it can sit up. I'm very proud of that, though. I didn't think this would actually fit right. I just kind of picked it up thinking even if it didn't fit, then something would. Works pretty well. I also finally framed my Mill Hill Poppy. This one is a hard one to find a frame for, just because I haven't been able to find a Mill Hill frame, and I didn't want to, I'm cheap. I didn't want to spend the like 14 bucks or whatever it was with the shipping online. Instead, I was able to find a little 6x6 frame at Hobby Lobby, and all of their tabletop frames are always half off. So this cost me like $6.50, maybe. The problem is it was orange. Let's see if I can find a spot that didn't cover right. I don't know if you can see, but like right there, that's the original color that it was, is that weird orangey color. I just spray painted it black. Works pretty fantastic. Of course, it's a tabletop frame there. I also stuck a black piece of cardstock behind it just so you couldn't see the color through the holes at all. It kept it with that smooth black finish. So this one is now FFO'd. Yay! And then I did one more FFO. This one was my Mill Hill Jingle. My plan is to do this whole series and put them on a wreath, probably around my door. I'd seen it finished in a wreath. I don't remember the name of the store. It was a yarn store up in, I believe, Grand Haven, Michigan. But they have a cross-stitch corner there, and they had all of these, and they had them actually FFO'd around a wreath, and I absolutely love that idea. However, just in case that doesn't pan out, I did add the loop at the top because I figure I can always fold it back when it's on the wreath, and if I want to take it off, I can still use it. And I just put red felt behind there. And this one was actually my first Mill Hill that I've ever had to cut out, and it was terrifying. I went so slow trying to make sure that I didn't cut the wrong spot, and it's done, and I'm happy, and I love it. So he is now finished as well. It's amazing how much you can get done when you don't want to clean and you just want to play instead. I'm terrible. All right, so I already did plans. That one's taken care of. Oh, going into plans as well. This coming weekend, we have a graduation party to attend. It is up north, which is about a 5-hour drive for us. It will be up by my father-in-law's place. So we'll be staying at his house for the night. We're bringing the dogs up. Our itty bitties, so the gecko and the guinea pig are fine at home for a night. We'll be going up there for the grad party and then coming back the next day. But ABC, always bring cross stitch. So what I'm planning on bringing is the seasonal saying, because June only lasts for so long. I'm going to need my July one. I purchased the July one. And I didn't print off the cover photo. I didn't waste ink on that, so I'll hold it back here. But this one is Liberty Lights, also by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I got my fabric dyed. I just did like little red, white, and blue splotches on there. 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby. I just cut a chunk off and used some RIP dye on there. So this is a nice small one. And since we're not traveling on a plane or anything like that, I'm okay with bringing a Q-snap. Normally when I travel, I like to bring the Mill Hills just because the perforated paper is very easy. But I get motion sick and can't stitch in a car anyways. So this is more for, you know, if we're sitting around watching TV or something up there, then I can be stitching, being productive on that. So I will be bringing that up north with me. My Flosstube Stanley update. So if you go to Instagram, you can check out hashtag FlossTubeStanley. He is a flat Stanley that has been sent out through the cross-stitch community by myself for my students. So my students have also created their own little flat Stanleys that they're sending out to the people they know. And what we're doing is collecting all of the pictures that are sent back to us. Yes, we are, Zelda. And putting them, well, we choose one picture from each step to put around our giant calendar in the office. And then all the extra ones are being put in a scrapbook. So he is currently in Arizona with Mama Metzger, who does have her own Flosstube channel and an Instagram account, of course. So definitely go check out Mama Metzger. She is fantastic. She ended up forgetting Flosstube Stanley when she went out, but that's okay. Stanley forgives her. I'll insert some pictures here of the Arizona adventure. They got to visit Casa Malpais. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it is an archaeological park and museum. They got to visit pretty much the ruins of the Pueblo people, which are some of the Native American people, essentially from out west, obviously Arizona. So it's definitely something that my kids have not been able to see here in Michigan because we didn't have the Pueblo here. And the pictures are fantastic. She did take more. I'm not putting up pictures of other people's kids in my video though. So if you want to see some of the pictures that have her adorable children in there, go check it out on Instagram. And if you're interested in hosting a Stanley as well, just shoot me a message on Instagram, comment below, something. Let me know. I'll get you on the wait list in case he ever comes back here. He is kind of hopping from person to person to person without coming back here each time, which is a really fun way for the cross-stitch community to kind of come together. You don't have to be a Flosstuber. You don't even have to have an Instagram. Just if you cross-stitch and you're interested in helping out some of my kiddos, go for it. And that is what I've got for that. So moving on to the giveaway. Becca L., I am still waiting to hear from you about where to send this to. So I'll give you this week, and then if I haven't heard from you by next video, I will be redrawing this. That way he can go to somebody who loves him. But anyways, shoot me a message either on Instagram, the Hufflepuff Stitcher, or an email, which is listed below, and let me know where to send this. I'll get them out for you. Now, last week, we were giving away JBW Designs. This is Friends and Neighbors. And it was really fun listening to your guys' neighbor stories. They made me giggle. I'll insert my picture here. And congratulations to Meezer Meow Me. I hope I said it correctly this time. Barbara, you have won this chart. So I've actually already got your information. I'll get this out in the mail for you. Now this week, my giveaway is a Pass the Stash. I will be passing along my Snowbells chart. This is the chart only. So it doesn't have the beads, doesn't have the floss, doesn't have the paper, because I used it, sorry. But it's just DMC colors and then some Mill Hill beads on perforated paper. And I believe you can find the perforated paper at Hobby Lobby even, so you don't have to get it anywhere fancy. But if you are interested in the Snowbells chart here, I want you to comment below and tell me what is your go-to FFO style. So how do you like to fully finish your pieces? Are you someone who likes to stick them in a frame? Do you like the flat folds, pillow finishes? Like, what's kind of your go-to style for those? And that is all I've got for you this week. Zelda has curled up in the pillow back here. She's just napping today. It's a nice sunny day outside. That's all I got. So until I see you next time, keep it magical. Bye.